price cuts, at least in China, and some other parts of some areas just over the international date line. But is this a good thing or a bad thing, or does it even matter? Is it going to affect the stock price? Let's look at some spreadsheets. I'm Brian. Welcome to my Tesla Weekend. As a reminder, this is the very exciting full version that goes out over the weekend on the Friday, or it's the condensed one over the weekend. If you haven't checked out the full version on the Friday on the live channel, you gots to. It's more fun, it's longer, it's got a Q&A, and especially today, we're going to use that extra time to tweak some numbers. Am I echoey? Let me check my sound. Give me just a moment. Am I echoey? Okay. Give me a moment. And I will see if I can fix it. Is it echoing? I could use some confirmation on that if that is the case. No? Sounds good. Looks good. Haha. Okay. So I don't know if you guys heard, but there has been some interesting news. Yeah, some price cuts. Is this a sign of doom and gloom, or is it long overdue? Is this a problem? Are we having a problem, or are we reverting to normal pricing? What are normal margins? Well, for cars, a lot. Real high, like 5%, 6%, unless you're Tesla, in which case you get something more like 27.9% automotive gross margin. That leaves you some room to play around with your numbers. So what's it mean? Well, here's what you came here for, right? It's the spreadsheets. Spreadsheets. Don't know how I goofed that. Yeah, they expect 27.9% margins. They get them. So let's look at this. Deliveries last quarter, 405,000. Now, what was the average selling price? We don't actually know just yet, but we have a pretty good idea. Oh, you son of a... The average price is... Boop. About 50,000. It's about 50,000. And with that margin, we know we're looking at $13,950 in profit per unit. Now, I've seen some other very pessimistic numbers on Twitter, but I don't see it that way. So 405,000 units, $13,950 in gross profit, 5.6 billions of dollars. So let's drop the price. And I'm going to say we're going to drop it by, I don't remember, we'll get there. I think I said 3,000 or 5. We'll get to it. But how many deliveries are we even talking about? And all these numbers, by the way, we're going to get to them. We're going to tweak them. You're going to help me. You're going to tell me how to change them. Hiking Lang says, less profit in the short term, but better long-term profits. You see, we shall get to it. Last quarter's production was 439,000 units. So that gives us a baseline for what to expect for production moving forward. Let's say the growth is tiny at just 5%. I don't think it's going to be 5%. It's going to be quite a bit more than that. That'd still be an extra 22,000 units. That's only like 1,500 a week. They're going to increase by more than that. That'd be an extra 700 a week out of Berlin and Texas each. They're going to produce more than that. But it's not just these two numbers combined. No, my friend. There is existing inventory we have to deal with. You see, last quarter, they produced 439, but only sold 405. That's, 34,000 extra units. And the quarter before, there was, 22,000 extra units? That means they've got 56,000 existing inventory. Now, those were just in transit. Those weren't for sale. You couldn't find them listed for sale. Some S's, some X's, but all the 3s and Ys were gone or accounted for or in transit. But if the hypothesis we're dealing with is that there's no demand, that it's a busted growth story, as my very good friend Gojo likes to say, it does look good in a then we have to say that these cars could be sold. So what's the total number of cars? Minimum 516,950. Minimum. So let's say the average selling price, we said 50,000, let's whack $3,000 off of it. Well, it's going to be more than $3,000. Yeah, maybe in some markets. In some markets, it'll be no discount at all. And in the US, it's not going to be more than a $3,000 discount, likely, because so many cars are going to qualify for the tax incentive. Or there'll be more discount on the back for credits for making batteries. There's all kinds of ways this money can happen. So what kind of margin does that give us? 23.3. Oh, that's miserable compared to 27.9. Yes, but it's making some very conservative estimates. Very conservative. So now your profit per car, oh, it's a paltry $11,000. Still huge. But on that many deliveries, it's more. The profit went up. We didn't do anything different. We didn't cheat. We didn't cut any corners here. These numbers are quite well, yes, but we sold through existing inventory, and that's not recurring. That just happened the once. Okay, but I also only said 5% growth, which is ludicrous. It's going to be more than 5%. A growth of 21,950 for the quarter? That's ridiculous. Last quarter they grew by, what was it, 60, 80,000 units? It was a big growth quarter. And this quarter shows the same kind of trend. Shanghai doesn't look like it will be shut down like it has been for parts of previous quarters. Fremont is not scheduled to go down for maintenance. Florida, Texas, and Berlin are still getting bigger and faster. So, should we get a little goofy? Should we massage these numbers a bit? Because you see, here's the delivery numbers. You saw 439,701, so it was actually a little higher than what I put in. 405. Interesting. I didn't realize these were dialed in all the way. I guess I wasn't paying enough attention. And then we've got the previous quarter. You could see that there was more production than delivery. 22,000 extra units. By the way, can Tesla cut these prices? Like I said, let's get batty here. This $3,000, this number here, what's the real cost on this car? What's the real cost? Right now we're saying it's 30%, there's a 30% basically margin in this car. Well, the real cost has gone down and continues to go down. Elon said there is the cost of goods to make a car went up, and it's now slowly coming back down. That discount hasn't been fully realized through the supply chain, but it's getting there. We are getting there. In China, they were asked, why the price cut? Well, published behind, I love this. The Chinese language is like poetry when you translate it. Published behind Tesla's pricing adjustment in Beijing, it covers numerous engineering innovations, essentially unique laws of cost control, not limited to integrated vehicle design, production line design, supply chain management, even millisecond optimization. We will respond to the call of the state with practical action, promote economic development, and unleash consumption potential. 2023, let's meet a better life together. Love it. But what they're saying is, we've been able to bring down our costs. We've been able to make the line better, the design better, everything a little, the supply chain management just a little bit better. All of those mean that even by giving a $3,000 discount, we're still being very conservative with these numbers. If it's only, they could have already $3,000 in savings per car. The Model Ys coming out of Fremont are profitable. Sandy Monroe estimates the Model Y costs less to build than the Model 3. That means they could drop the price of the Model Y and still make money. Or maybe they should just stop selling the Model 3. Either way. Or they should stop selling the Model 3 until they get the new version out that's got the integrated battery as a structural element, the front and rear mega castings, all that. But all that's coming, and all that's still dropping the price. China is a cheaper factory in which to build because labor's a bit lower. Parts from suppliers are local. They're a bit cheaper. And then, of course, it's a newer factory using a newer design with new philosophy. Fremont is a mess, and it's got the highest labor costs, and the parts you're getting are all from the US of A, which is one of the most expensive markets. They're still profitable. They can still make money doing that. And in Texas, they're going to make even more money building the same cars quicker and better. So all of this is very conservative. I think they could drop the price more than $3,000 and still have this kind of number. Or they could drop the price $3,000 and eclipse this number. And again, it's all growing. Do you want to see different numbers in here? Do you want me to change these around? Because I can do it. I can change them all. We'll get to that at the end here. What do we got? So one thing I had looked at is what does it cost to import a car from China to the US? And I mistakenly found the number 2.5%. That is incorrect. That's if you or I wish to import a car. The real number is 27.5%. That's why we don't see Chinese cars on the market. Wow. If that was gone, they would have some market share. Yes, they would. What else have I got here? Oh, and if you really want to move cars, lowering the price is absolutely going to drive demand. There are people, especially with the interest rates that have just gone up, there are people who are right on the edge who just can't do it. And as the prices continue to come down, there are fleets, there are professionals, commercial buyers, who have a number in front of them that when it hits it, it makes sense. Until that number's hit, it don't. So maybe we just need to get a bunch sold to Hertz, to Enterprise, to states and cities. Yeah, all that could absolutely work. And of course you could bring in some sexy new colors. Yeah. Those don't require a discount. Yet. I bet. So that would be quite interesting. So let's take a look at the comments and questions. There was something I was going to check. Yeah, let's get into some goofy numbers, shall we? Some goofy numbers and the chat. I do want to thank my patrons who get early access, bonus content, all kinds of good stuff. I thank you. This page is a little bit out of date. It'll be fun. It's worth it. It's worth it. Keeps me in business. So going into the questions, JJ wants to know, do you need government money or not? Need is a strong word. I don't think Tesla needs it. It doesn't get government money in every market in which it operates, and it still operates very competitively. But the money does exist, and it will be taken. In the EU, import tariff is 10% plus the shipping cost. 10% is a lot more reasonable than 27%. When do I want your numbers, MD Hofsty? You can send them over whenever you have them handy. Let's see. How about selling unpainted cars for less for those that want to do a wrap? Huh. Well, is the Model 3 steel or aluminum? I think it's steel, isn't it? Isn't it steel? I thought the Model S was aluminum. But you can't sell a steel car without a finish. It would be a problem. Elon said last year he was embarrassed by the sky-high margin. Why are so many people worried about price drops? That's a valid point. That is an absolutely valid point. I think embarrassed might have been hyperbole. He certainly wasn't turning it down. But at the same time, it's We don't need a 30% margin, and it wasn't sustainable. We don't need it. What we need is more cars on the road. And if you can't sell every unit you make, you have to pull some demand levers, and price is one that is very easy to do. Let's do the numbers right now. Let's hear what you guys want me to change. Let's do it. How about, because really, this should be more like 10% at least. Let's change it to that. Boom. Now we're at 5.9 billion. That's a big shift. That's another 300 million just by adding 20,000 cars. So put it back. SNX are aluminum. Cybertrucks will be unpainted. But an unpainted SNX, boy, that would be interesting, wouldn't it, Jeff? Can you imagine? Huh. I don't think that's a good idea. I don't have experience with that. I've seen old aluminum boats that were, of course, not painted, and they get pretty corroded. They also go in the ocean. Sky-high margins may have been embarrassing, but I was okay with it. I agree, Daniel. It doesn't matter if the price goes up or down. Down means demand issue. Up means they need more per car. Yeah. Go with 10.6, as that would be a 49.6% increase year over year. You got it. 10.6. 106. There we go. That about the same. 5.9 bubbas of billions of dollars. ASP should be more like 52.5. You got it. 52,500. That gives us a difference of 5.9 billion versus 6.3 billion. And if we were to put this back down to 5%, we'd see that it's still ahead by $90 million by selling the extra units. And again, these existing inventory cars, I think they were genuinely in transit. I don't think they could have been moved more quickly or efficiently. I think we just had to count them. The 35,000 that wasn't delivered is roughly a week of production. It takes a week to get a car to the customer. It's like, well, not in China. My friend, China's a very large country geographically. Pollution corrodes aluminum. Okay. Demand will always drop if $7,500 savings is in the near future. And now the $7,500 is here for some models. Yes, it is here for most models. Most models, yeah. And that will help. That will help. In the original bill, it was going to be a point of sale rebate rather than a tax refund. So that's disappointing. It's like asking a computer maker to sell a computer without Windows. Yeah, that's true. Cybertruck rolls out this year, so that just leaves Roadster 2, new model announcement at Investor Day. I'ma say yes, and I'd like to be there. I sent an email to Investor Relations. I'm sure they'll write back out of an abundance of competence. Yes. Do I have a comment on the Belt and Road initiatives and its potential influence on U.S. economy? The U.S. used to do stuff like that. We used to use our wallet to purchase friends and influence around the world. We don't do that anymore. Now we try and use gunboat diplomacy, and it doesn't work quite the same. Now, I've seen stories that China goes out and purchases countries, basically, indebts them to a degree that puts them at the mercy of China. But I've also seen stories that largely debunk that. Russia spent 20 years trying to get into Afghanistan without success. The U.S. spent 20 years trying to topple Afghanistan without success. Afghanistan is where empires go to die. China has just signed a mineral deal to extract oil in Afghanistan. with the full blessing of the powers that be, because all they ever really wanted wasn't freedom and it wasn't democracy. It was money. So, yeah. Yeah. John wants to know, why am I not at CES in Las Vegas? It kind of snuck up on me. I forgot that it was happening, and I've never been to it before, so it wasn't something I was necessarily thinking about. Maybe next year I'll go to that. Yeah. Yeah. John Gibbs is there, Dr. Know-It-All. So that would have been fun to visit him. And hopefully the boring tunnel is in operation. Boy, if I went and it wasn't, I'd be chafed. Future. Okay, so you're saying if this is at 52.5, this should be at 49. Ooh, okay. 49, 1, 2, 3. Ooh, how did I fudge it? Because it was... What am I doing? Ah, shucks. Okay. Okay. Equals this. What do we say? My brain. Selling price minus. Selling price times the margin. There we go. A bunch of references. Cool. Because... Is that an equation? What in the hell is wrong with you? C 18 by 16. Because... There we go. That's circular. Oh, for Christing out balls. Right. Let's try it again. 16, 18. No. Goes... I apologize. Somebody help me. Okay. Equals... What do we say? This times a margin of, what do we say? Doesn't matter. That is the margin. Okay. Losing my brain. What was I doing? Okay. 49 with a discount. 3,000. No. I can't think. If somebody wants to fix my equation, we can do it. I was not prepared, I guess. That's what I did wrong. You're right. Aha. That's what I... Thank you. Yeah, of course. You said 49. 49. There we go. But it didn't change anything because... Yeah. 49. The margin is... Okay, that is the margin. And this... Okay, is this times... Well, I don't know what the hell I'm doing wrong. I don't know how it didn't change. And I am too tired. Too tired. Cannot think straight. Apologize for that. We'll get it. Live math in Excel. Always dangerous. Okay. All right. So let's see. We've got a couple minutes left. Hey, Tech Fixer's here. Good to see you, buddy. How you been? How have you been? All right. Yeah, I guess that's about it. Let's see if there are any questions I am missing. Oh, gee, we could have been partying with Sandy again. Yeah. Sandy, last time when I saw him in Florida, he said every time I turn around, there you are. Because I had seen him at a couple events in a row. Yeah, not all of them, but some. And there are some more interesting ones that we shall see. This year will be interesting. But the idea is, the summary, let's just get to that. Is that thoughts on the second half? Oh yeah, it's going to be great. This year is going to be all about ramping. We're going to see big ramps in everywhere. We're going to see big ramps in Texas. We're going to see big ramps in Berlin. And we're going to see incremental growth in Shanghai and in Fremont. So it's going to be big. And prices will be coming down, which will make everyone happy. Wall Street might complain a little bit, but that's what they do. They do it either way all the time. And you reach a point where you just have to stop giving a darn what they want to see, what they care about. Any thoughts on Nikola? I don't have any thoughts on Nikola. I share them on the podcast with Bear because they don't make the news as much. They've got a short amount of time to get their cash situation sorted out, and once they do, they will. If they can get it sorted out, they'll survive, and if they can't, they won't. Hopefully, the cost of borrowing comes down in the next year or two to a degree where all these companies don't find themselves in an existential crisis. What about Megapack? It's going to go gangbusters. 2023 is Megapack's year. It is, Tech Fixer might know, but they are going to be producing in Lathrop, California, and also in Nevada, with some overlap between the production time of both facilities, which will allow them to produce a shocking number and get the backlog of orders for that product under control. Powerwall production will triple in Q1 when the new line comes up. I can't wait to see my first semi and Cybertruck in the wild. Yeah, it's going to be cool. I haven't seen a Tesla semi in the wild yet, but I also am a hermit, so I don't really go anywhere or do anything. That's not true. I guess I do go to Portland sometimes. Love my Powerwall from 2022. Hope they can do what you say. Megapack is ramping in the new plant, shutting down in Nevada in March, which is earlier than expected. That's fantastic. Yeah. Are those the same people in Nevada who are moving to Lathrop, or is it different people? All good information, all good questions. And I do want to, again, thank these fine folks for making the channel happen. Because without them, without you, there's no me. I'm codependent, man. Did you hear about the fake crash off California cliff? Fake. Yeah. So, John, I made a video about that and published it on the main channel earlier today. You can find out all about it. And yeah, what I was addressing was the onslaught of coordinated misinformation. And I will do some more of that in depth soon because it deserves attention. It is, I don't know if they're sock puppets, which is to say fake accounts, or meat puppets, which is to say people who are paid to say these things, but the talking points are coordinated, overly coordinated. It wasn't a fake crash, as Jeff points out. It was a tragedy for a family. Have I looked at ABML? I have not. Our PAs are going to Powerwall when Megapack shuts down. Nice. Okay. Well, we're at it. We've done it. We have survived another week. I don't know how. Maybe we'll figure it out. If you're catching this on the replay, let me know. I'd be very curious. You forget, I commented on that video already. Yes, I did forget. I can't keep track. And you know how I am as soon as I go live, my brain gets a little fried and frazzled. So, all right. Yeah. Okay. So, what did I miss? What did I misunderstand? Leave it all in them comments. Stay tuned. Stay juicy. Can't wait to hear from you, clever ding-dongs, in the future.